Hello everyone, this is Michael with Quiet Lawn. I hope you're all well. It's 2025. It's been a long time since I've made an update, and I wanted to update you guys on our shop, give you a 2025 shop tour, kind of show you some improvements we've made, and just show you our setup in general. My guys are currently out. Tony is out treating lawns, and Justin is out mowing, so I don't have our setups here, so you can see our mowing setup and our spraying setup, but you'll be able to see our shop, kind of how we store stuff, how we do stuff. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you around real quick, and please let me know if you have any comments, questions, suggestions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. All right, guys, we are here at our shop, the Quiet Lawn shop. Our shop is located right on the side of a busy highway up there. Our original plan with this shop was to locate it up there by the road, but due to all the zoning issues and challenges with the county and all the stuff they wanted us to do to basically have a gravel parking lot with a with a prefabricated building on it was just ridiculous. So we ended up renting this little enclosed space here in the back and doing what I'm about to show you. We also have 4 40-foot shipping containers over here that you can see over those trucks, that we store Christmas lights and some other tools and supplies in. We rent this place from a builder or a construction company that offers garage doors and stuff like that, so they're nice enough to let us rent this concrete pad out here. When we first came here, this wasn't here. There was nothing here. It's just an empty space. The first thing we added was we added this, I think it's I don't remember how long it is. It's a 20-something foot, maybe 26-foot trailer. I bought this enclosed trailer that was just new from the factory, basically. I bought it used off of somebody, but it had nothing done to it on the inside. Basically bought that, and I'll show you the inside of it in a minute. And then later we added this carport. And at first the carport, the first couple years it was just open, and then over the winter here, I'll show you inside, we actually had this enclosed. But let me take you in the enclosed trailer here first. So I think you're going to notice that the inside looks a little bit different than what you might expect. So this is the inside of the trailer. As you can see here, I did a lot of work, did all this myself. I built walls, I added all the electrical. We added one of the small heating and air units that keeps this place nice and warm in the winter and nice and cool in the summer. So this is our office area. We don't really use it a lot. We don't have an on-site office administrator. We do everything virtually with my team, Ibrahim. We have people in Bangladesh, and now we have team members down in Colombia, South America. So, they handle all of the customer service, the sales, marketing, websites, SEO, social media. They do all that stuff virtually. But our operations manager here, Tony, uses this computer to order stuff, or do our buzz sessions in the morning when we talk about what's going on, when he talks with Ibrahim and the virtual team about what's going on with the business. That's what they use this for. This is just a nice little lounge area for them when they come in the morning. They got a nice table here to sit and relax. They got a refrigerator, try to keep that stocked with waters, sometimes Gatorades, whatever they want. They've got their snacks, crackers, electrolyte packets, very important, especially in the kind of heat we've had here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where we've had heat indexes from 110 to 115 this last week or so. So it's just been very hot. But yeah, basically, anything we can do to make it easier for the guys, where they charge their phones overnight that they use Yardbook on. We got our computer here. We still use our body cams. That's where we charge those overnight. Got our whiteboard here to, communicate anything with the guys, to write down what we're doing for the next treatment on the lawns. In the back of the trailer, and guys, I didn't clean any of this or getting it ready. So this is what it looks like with the guys in it. So I didn't clean it up for the video or anything. So you know how it is. It's when you're in the middle of the season, it's hard to keep everything organized when the guys are just busy. But this back area, we use this as storage for our chemicals because we're required to lock that stuff up. So we use this as storage for our chemicals, other supplies, tools, you know, all of our flyers, different stuff like that. We just use this for overall storage. And then we've got a little workbench here that the guys use to sharpen blades. Got the All-American blade sharpener that we use along with a grinder. This is the best way I've found to sharpen blades, you know, at an affordable price without buying, you know, $1,000 machine, which I don't think is necessary for, you know, the amount of mowing that we do. But yep, this is the shop trailer. You know, I also use this, you know, if I have to drop the gate and I have to bring a mower in here and change a battery, you know, like when I convert the Ryobi mowers over to lithium, you know, I've just got a nice little shop space I can do in here that's actually air conditioned and, you know, away from the mosquitoes and stuff like that. So this is the shop. So we, I'll take you outside. So we added a carport to be able to park the trailers under and park park all the mowing equipment, store our fertilizer and all that stuff. And originally it was just an open carport, and it worked great. You know, we would back our mowing trailers in there overnight to protect the small Ryobi riding mowers, to protect our equipment, to protect the fertilizer. But it was just every time it would rain, it would get windy and the rain would blow in and it would just soak everything. And you know, also there was a security concern. We never had anybody steal anything, but I was always worried that people were going to come in here one night and steal a bunch of our Ego batteries or steal a bunch of stuff. And, you know, eventually I just decided to go ahead and close it in. So over this winter we had, you know, this whole front side added. Luckily we didn't have to do the back because it's already up against the building that we rent from. But we did that, and then we had this door added here so that Tony could back the spray van in, open the back doors, and just be able to come in here easily and get his fertilizer and stuff in the van without getting in the way of the guys getting out doing mowing in the morning. So this is our carport. Pretty simple, you know, mostly now that we're transitioning more and more to treatments away from mowing. You know, it's not nearly as cluttered in here. You can see we've got all of our fertilizer here. We keep some of our chemicals, our pest control stuff in here as well. You see we got one of our mowers here. These mowers, I'll do an update, but man, these mowers have been incredible. Like the Ryobis, like we've got our main, you know, our one mowing guy now. I think we still have maybe 120 mowing customers, something like that. But he's using the Ryobi Zero Turn that we bought a couple years ago and that we converted from 48 volt NiCad batteries or lead acid batteries to lithium. Man, that thing's been great. I've probably got at least 1,000 hours on it. No issues, like knock on wood. Like as soon as it dies, I'm not gonna buy another one because like I said, we're phasing mowing out. But that thing's been running like a champ so far. We've got all of our batteries here. You can see I've got my chargers set up. Charging is always an issue with battery stuff. So I have, you know, when we did move to this shop, I had a 100 amp circuit or 100 amp breaker added to the people we rent from to their electrical panel, and then I had it brought out here to a 100 amp sub panel, and from that we have 8 20 amp different 20 amp breakers. So each one of these outlets is on a different 20 amp breaker, so that we're able to divide the load up over all those, and we're able to, you know, charge all these batteries throughout the night without tripping breakers, as well as, you know, our big charger for the bigger mowers. Got our freezer here. I think this is really important. This is a big thing I added several years ago, and I highly recommend it if you got a little, you know, electric at your shop. It doesn't use much power at all, maybe 2 or 3 amps, but you know, you can do things like freeze your ice packs that we use in the coolers throughout the day, and you can have nice things like popsicles in there, so when the guys get done in the end of the day, they've got a nice little treat. It really comes in handy, especially if they've been out there in the sun all day. You know, it's really tough out there. This roll-up door we added. That's at night when the guy comes back with the Prius and the little 4x6 trailer with a Zero Turn on it. He just backs it in here, locks it up, and that's, you know, keeps it nice and safe, nice and dry. I added this Giraffe Tools little pressure washer for the guys to wash their vehicles quickly. It works really good. I'm impressed. It's a nice little tool. I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it does, but that comes in really handy. The guys are able to clean the vehicles, keep those clean, so that we look more professional when we're out working in the neighborhoods we work in. Got a couple sprayers. Did get this Flowzone mosquito sprayer, battery powered mosquito sprayer. That thing is very good. We've been very happy with it. It's lightweight. It has a lot of power, and it's electric, so you don't have all the noise and all the mess and stuff. You don't have to worry about carrying fuel with you, all that. Let's see, outside the shop, not a whole lot left. We've got just, basically our vehicles here. We've got two Priuses. This is our mowing vehicle, so we use these to pull the little 4x6 trailers. This one blew up earlier this year, so it's just parked. I'll eventually haul it off, but we'll just keep it here for parts if we need it now. As I've told you in previous videos, we're phasing out mowing, so there's not really a point in me fixing this. And this car has, I think, 280,000 miles on it, so it's lived a good life. It's gotten its money's worth, and now it's just sitting here until we either haul it off or use it for parts for the other Prius that's out mowing right now. When the guy's back in at night, we've got power ran out here from those circuits that charges. He does a trickle charger for the vehicles to keep them topped off, because I highly recommend that too. I can't tell you how many times over the years that we've came in the morning and the battery is dead on the vehicle and the guys couldn't go to work, and it costs a lot of money. If you have the ability to run trickle chargers overnight to all your vehicles, keep them topped off, you're going to greatly reduce the amount of times that you get stuff like that happening. So we used to have all the chargers with the batteries in the vehicles. I don't know why Tony prefers to keep them inside the shop, and that's fine too. They just grab the batteries they need in the morning. But we used to have all the wires ran out here, and all those chargers were in the vehicles, and that way you wouldn't have to come bring them in and out. But I guess that is better. We don't have to worry about people breaking in the cars as much, and it's a little bit cooler in the shop instead of having all these chargers out in the heat all day. Got our truck here that we mainly used it for landscaping projects, but we have really phased out landscaping projects because it's just the complication and training people. We're trying to focus more and more on recurring services, the mowing, the fertilization, weed control, the pest control. And it's just such a hassle to have the seasonal services like mulch. So this used to be full of like 15, 20 pallets of mulch, and we'd, go out and do a lot of mulch jobs, but we've basically stopped offering mulch except for a couple of existing customers. So we've got a little bit of leftover mulch that's faded out, and we've really kind of faded that out. So this truck mainly now gets used for Christmas lights. So this is our Christmas light truck. So you can see we added a little sign on it. I'll do some more graphics on it this year to make it look better. But this is where we put all of our Christmas lights on both sides. This is where we put our ladders on top. And, Christmas lights is becoming one of our leading sources of revenue. And, it's just a fun service. I've got this trailer over here. We don't really use much. We use it for landscaping or for big Christmas light jobs where we can't fit enough in the truck. But like I said, the landscaping stuff we're kind of phasing out. All the rest of this is not mine. So this is the contractor we rent from. So my space is basically from here over. So you can see, we don't really have a lot of space. I think this space is maybe about 30 feet by about 50 feet. But we're able to run, a $500,000 operation out of this fairly easily. I could easily see how we could do probably $1 million out of the same space, because we have tons of room now, especially as we, get rid of some of this landscaping stuff. I have room to park, probably 3 or 4 more vehicles right there. We have lots of room for storage inside this carport, inside those 40-foot containers. And in the back of the shop. So, I can easily see how we could run easily $1 million operation out of this. But that's our shop. I'm not going to do any other improvements to it unless we need it over the next couple of years, aside from cleaning things up and just getting it more and more organized, more and more efficient for the guys, just getting it looking better. I think I showed you everything. The only other thing is, we got This, like I said, we didn't really clean this video up. So we've got our sink here for guys to clean up. You can see it's pretty messy. We've got our hose, you know, all that stuff. It's a simple operation. We don't have a dedicated water meter. You know, we just have one source of water from the landlord that we, you know, run out to be able to wash the cars, to be able to fill up the tank for the pest control and fertilization weed control. But basically just a very simple operation, very lean, and, you know, not a lot of upkeep required, and that's what I like. But if you have any questions, please leave them below. Any comments, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.